Hi everyone, I'm Ricky with Memory Lane Video, and Memory Lane Video is once again reinventing wedding cinema with educational program called Coffee with Ricky. And today I'm really excited to have with us Debbie Hansen with Bridal Spectacular. She's an event producer with Bridal Spectacular, and I've had the pleasure of working with Debbie for several years now. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me to be here.
Excellent. Thank you. So Debbie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself. Wow. That's the toughest question of all. Sometimes I wonder if I have time for myself. Producing a bridal show is, a year-round thing. Sometimes people ask you, well, so what do you do the rest of the year? Well, this goes on all year long. So doing it twice a year, it's like having a baby every 6 months.
So tell us a little bit about the Bridal Spectacular and how you conceived it.
Well, I conceived it. I used to be a florist. I had a flower shop. And I used to participate in any little small bridal shows that were around because I found that to be the best way to let the bride know what I did as a florist and show them my product. But there were not that many shows to participate in, and they were either very small and in malls and didn't really reach the target market, or it was a very expensive show that used to happen here in Las Vegas many years ago, and you had to pay like $2,500 just to get into it. So it was very cost prohibitive for small businesses. So I just decided one day that I could do this, and we started our first show in 1991, and very quickly the other show stopped existing, and we just grew and grew and grew. We offered a reasonable product to our vendors, brought in lots of brides, did lots of advertising, and that's how it started.
So tell us, as a vendor, what does your show offer?
It offers a show that has a guaranteed large and extensive advertising budget, and that is the number one thing. You can say you're going to do a show, but unless you're going to really put your dollars into advertising, you won't get the brides there. So we have a very strong advertising budget. We have a facility that brides like to come to. It's conveniently located so that brides from all parts of town can get there. So those are some of the things that we offer.
We've heard a lot about green weddings. What specifically can you tell us? What are you doing to make your show green?
As a business, one of the things that we looked at was, every show we had these, bags that we provided to the brides, and they were paper or plastic. And you're talking 1,000 paper or plastic bags, that adds up. What we have gone to is we now have a keepsake bag, which is,
that's nice.
Something they can hang on to. It's not a throwaway. It's got my wedding bag on it. So you'll find the girls after the show and as they come around to the different businesses still carrying around this bag.
Now, are the bags pre-stuffed with the items?
Oh, yeah. When they come through, it's already, many of our vendors give us their items for us to put into the bag. So that when the bride comes through, it's already stuffed with that and some other fun things like luggage tags and sewing kits and different things like that the bride can use throughout her wedding planning.
So tell us, how can a vendor get their items placed in that bag?
They just have to let us know that they want to do the bag stuffing program.
Okay.
And have those at least 1,000 pieces to us by Thursday at 5 o'clock before setup. And then we have a crew over there just stuffing those bags Thursday night, making sure they're ready for when the show opens Friday.
Excellent. And as a vendor who's advertised with Debbie and done several of her shows, I think it's a great idea to do the bag stuffer because she may or may not be able to hit every single vendor's booth because you have the largest show in Las Vegas. But also gets when she goes home and she's sane and going through all of her items, she has the ability to go through all of her items. So I think that's a great idea. So Debbie, speaking of the number of vendors at your show, you have the largest show. You have a huge following. I mean, how did you establish that? I mean, I know you have a great reputation, but more importantly, how are the vendors finding you?
I would say vendors find me through internet and through word of mouth, and primarily word of mouth. Because we have been doing this for 19 years. We do have an established reputation. My vendors know that they can, trust me that what I tell them is true. One of the things that's so important to me that they know is that whatever you pay for your booth, somebody else isn't going to come 1 week before the show and pay a lower price. Everybody knows that our integrity and our code of ethics is that everybody will pay the same fair price. So that has given us a strong reputation in town, for one thing. It is word of mouth. It is online. We're constantly getting requests. We spend so much keeping our website high on the listings that we get leads every day from vendors wanting to be in the show. Okay. In this market, like anything else, everybody's hurting out there, and it's very tough. Yeah. But we still have a very strong showing for this show.
Approximately how many categories do you think the brides can expect when they come to one of your shows?
I generally find that there's about 25 to 30 categories that a bride's needing throughout her whole wedding process, and then we have that those people at our show.
And you recently just introduced to the wedding community the Las Vegas Wedding Network.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Las Vegas Wedding Network simply came, it's the brainstorm of Monica Morgan of VegasVows.com, and Andy Ebon of WeddingMarketingBlog.com. We just felt there needed to be another opportunity for people to network that was in the evening. And that's what we basically decided to do, just give another opportunity for people to get together, share ideas, prospect and network with different vendors. And we wanted it to be an opportunity, especially in this market, that wasn't going to be an expensive thing. Sometimes people just can't afford to go out to another thing. So we're not charging any dues, and we keep the dinner cost as low as possible. And it's just been great. It's been a great coming together of new people.
So Debbie, tell me a little bit about the floor plan of Bridal Spectacular. I know you have a great schematic online that shows the brides, kind of where the vendors are.
Right. We do. We have something on our website that you won't find on any other bridal shows that I know of in the country. It was created for me by my webmaster, who's my son. And it's interactive. You can go on there and click on floor plan, and you will see color-coded all the different vendors that are actually in the show. I mean, when you click on that booth, you're seeing the name of the person that is in the show and where they're going to be. You can kind of plan the route of who you want to see based on that. You can see, well, if I want to go to all the reception sites and you want to know that you want to see all those blue booths, if you want to see all the videographers, you want to see all those booths. So, and the thing that's important about that is who is really at the show. It's not just a list that somebody's posted that, may or may not be accurate, but it's the people that are going to be there.
Excellent. And for the vendors, I know that you also provide a lead program,
right, which,
some viewers or some vendors may not really know about. Could you expand on that a little bit?
We do. We have the brides register online. And as many as possible, get them to register online. They do register at the show, too, if they haven't already taken care of it beforehand. We do recommend they take care of it beforehand because that cuts down, waiting at the front door as they're coming through. But that list is usually provided to all the vendors that request it within 2 weeks of every event. Those brides definitely have attended the show. They have registered. They've paid to be there. So they are legitimate brides.
I think now would be an appropriate time to show that promotional piece. So let's roll that piece for Bridal Spectacular.